I wish my childhood life was like that, you know. Up, yeah. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Namo Shubhadaya Krishna Prabhupada Śrīmad Prabhupada Padmane Gaudeshu Kasarthatama Bhaktivarshane Namo Shubhadaya Krishna Prabhupada Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauruvani Prachanine Vishesha Shunivadi Paschatya Desatane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shivasani Gaura Bhaktanda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everyone. Today is a very auspicious day for us that we are here, present, at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. Of course, our Guru Parampara, Srila Prabhupada, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Radha Vallabh, Jagannath Balaram Subhadra, Shri Shri Prahlad Narasimha. And also, today is the beginning of a new chapter. So whenever you hear Keshav Prabhu's class, if the new chapter is starting, then he would mention that it becomes double auspicious if the chapter is ending or chapter is starting. So that's Radha Krishna, Radha Vallabh's mercy. Let us begin our reading or studying of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Madhava Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Vallabha. Clapping. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Vishnupada Paramahansa Prevajakacharya Sutta Śrīmad Śrīla Gurudev ki Jai Jai Vishnupada Paramahansa Prevajakacharya Sutta Śrīmad Bhāgavatam A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai Jai Vishnupada Paramahansa Prevajakacharya Sutta Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai ISKCON Centres Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपोपिना श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय श्री मायापुर धाम की जय श्री नवदीप धाम की जय श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगा मैया की जय यमुना मैया की जय तुलसी देवी की जय भक्ति देवी की जय श्याम वेद भक्त वृंद की जय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल all glories to the devotees Hare Krishna all glories to the devotees Hare Krishna all glories to the devotees Hare Krishna all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga all glories to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai I forgot Shri Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai Six Goswamis ki jai Hare Krishna Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya So today we have assembled here to continue our reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. This is Canto 8, the withdrawal of the cosmic creation. And today we are beginning a new chapter, that is chapter 10, the battle between the demigods and demons. And today we are covering verses 1 to 6, because 1 to 5 doesn't have purport, so we will continue to 6. We can repeat after. Shri Shuka Uvacha Iti Danava Daitya Na Avindana Amritam Nripa Yuktaha Karmani Yatta Cha Vasudeva Paranmukha. Shri Shuka Uvacha Iti Danava Daitya Navinandanamritam Nripa Yukta Karmani Yattascha Vasudeva Paranmukha. Shri Shuka Uvacha Iti Danava Daitya Navindan Amritam Nripa Yukta Karmani Yattascha Vasudeva Paranmukha. Shri Shuka Uvacha Iti Danava Daitya Navinandanamritam Nripa Yukta Karmani Yasascha Vasudeva Paranmukha. Shri Shuka Uvacha Iti Danava Daitya Navinandanamritam Nripa Yukta Karmani Yatascha Vasudeva Paranmukha. Shri Shuka Uvacha Iti Danava Daitya Navinandanamritam Nripa Yukta Karmani Yuktascha Vasudeva Paranmukha. Shri Shuka Uvacha Iti Danava Daitya Navinandanamritam Nripa Yukta Karmani Yuktascha Vasudeva Paranmukha. Anyone further? Prabhus? Shri Shuka Uvacha Iti Danava Daitya Navinandanamritam Nripa Yukta Karmani Yattascha Vasudeva Paranmukha. Shri Shuka Uvacha Iti Danava Daitya Navinandanamritam Nripa Yukta Karmani Yattascha Vasudeva Paranmukha. Shri Shuka Uvacha Iti Danava Daitya Navinandanamritam Nripa Yuktasya Karmani Yattascha Vasudeva Paranmukha. Shri Shuka Uvacha Iti Danava Daitya Navinandanamritam Nripa Yukta Karmani Yattascha Vasudeva Paranmukha. Shri Shuka Uvacha. Shri Shukadeva Goswami said, Iti thus Danava, Daitya, the Asuras and the demons, na, not, Avindana, achieved the desired result, Amritam, nectar, Nripa, O king, Yukta, all being combined, Karmani, in the churning, Yatta, engage with full attention and efforts, Cha, and Vasudeva, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, Paranmukha, because of being non-devotees. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Shri Shukadeva Goswami said, O king, the demons and Daityas all engage with full attention and effort in churning the ocean, but because they were non-devotees of Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, they were not able to drink the nectar. So, we don't have purport here, so we continue. Text 2. Translation. O king, after the Supreme Personality of Godhead had brought to completion the affairs of churning the ocean and feeding the nectar to the demigods, who are his dear devotees, he left the presence of them all and was carried by Garud to his own abode. Text 3. Seeing the victory of the demigods, the demons became intolerant of their superior opulence. Thus they began to march toward the demigods with raised weapons. Text 4. Thereafter, being enlivened because of drinking the nectar, the demigods, who are always at the shelter of the lotus feet of Narayan, use their weapons, various weapons, to counteract the demons in a fighting spirit. Text 5. O king, a fierce battle on the beach of the ocean of milk, Kshirshagar, ensued between the demigods and the demons. The fighting was so terrible that simply hearing about it would make the hair on one's body stand on end. Wow. Text 6. Translation and purports by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Both parties in that fight were extremely angry at heart, and in enmity they beat one another with swords, arrows, and varieties of other weapons. Purport. There are always two kinds of men in this universe, not only on this planet, but also in higher planetary systems. All the kings dominating planets like the sun and the moon also have enemies like Rahu. It is because of occasional attacks upon the sun and moon by Rahu that eclipses take place. The fighting between the demons and demigods is perpetual. It cannot be stopped unless intelligent persons from both sides take to Krishna consciousness. Om Ajnana Taminandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshrunumitam Yena Tashmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamasya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamvitamasya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagadapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namasute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Shute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarupasya Kripa Sindhu Paevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We are in the action scene. The battle between the demigods and the demons is about to happen. And the cause is the nectar. Everyone was looking for nectar. So how we have reached here, since this is the beginning of the chapter, I thought we just quickly have an overview how we have reached here. This scene, how we have come to this scene. So in the beginning, this is Canto 8, right? The Canto 8 is the withdrawal of cosmic creation. And then we saw how, let me just go to the index. We saw the various pastimes from chapter 1. So chapter 1 was talking about the Manu, administrators and universe. Then we saw a wonderful pastime of Gajendra, how Gajendra was saved. Again, Lord Krishna, he came and he saved Gajendra because he offered his prayers, heartful prayers to Lord to protect him. Of course, from that misery as well as from the ocean of birth and death. He prayed to Krishna that I don't want this suffering now, this birth and death. So better you save me and then you establish me at the lotus feet of yours. And then Gajendra's prayers is finished. Then chapter 5 onward, we saw that demigods appeal to the Lord for protection. And then what is the story? That in the beginning there was a scene that Durvasa Muni, he was traveling and somehow Indra, he was also passing by, and then Indra was sitting on his elephant, Airavat, and then Durvasa Muni, because he was coming out from this place within the universe, Krishna also residing, and then he got that garland, Mahaprasadam, from there. So then he was coming and then he saw Indra, and then out of a deep affection, he offered that Maha garland to him. Now Indra, he accepted the garland, but then for whatever reason, under the modes, he gave it to Gajendra, the elephant, Airavat. So then elephant, what he did, because of that intelligence, he just crushed under his feet. So then Durvasa Muni, he got upset, angry, that what is this, not respecting properly. So then he cursed that you become weak, you lose these opulences. Maybe out of these opulences you have become so arrogant that you can't accept or respect properly. So then the demons, they got the news and they worshipped their spiritual master so nicely that they got the strength, and now they attacked demigods. And the demigods, they became so, because they were so weak, they got defeated. And the demons, they took over the demigods. So then demigods, they went to Lord actually they went to Brahmaji. And then Brahmaji brought all together, they went to Kshirosagar, Shwetadip. And then they prayed to Lord for this protection. And that's what the devotees we do, isn't it? When we come in Krishna consciousness, we are trained that we are not this body, we are spirit soul. So then what is the most required protection as a spirit soul? That we take the shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. That we come to the shelter of Guru, the Parampara, who is giving the shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. That's what we get trained. And that's what Krishna taught in Bhagavad Gita, Tadvidi Pradipatena Pariprashnena. You reach me through this process. So then they took the shelter. And then Krishna, or Lord Vishnu, he appeared to them and he said, yes, don't worry. No worries, right? Don't worry. You do what I say. Out of love, affection, he said, you do what I say. What did he say? He said, you better go to demons and have a truce. You have a sandhi. And then they would think, oh, sandhi, you are approaching to demons? For what purpose? Oh, there is a reason. This truce would be for getting out actually churning the ocean. And from the ocean, Kshetra Sagar, we will have a nectar. And that nectar you will drink. And then they will be thinking, demigods will be thinking, hang on, I mean, the demons are already so powerful. They have already made us lose. And now if the nectar comes out, they will drink it because they are so powerful. They will snatch it from us and they will drink it. Now they will become more powerful. Amrita means they will have a long life. So what will happen to us? And then Krishna said, don't worry. You just have a truce and the nectar will come out. They will not get it. You will get it. So they understood the purpose and then they did the Samudra Manthan, Kshetra Sagar Manthan. So for that they needed a mountain, big mountain, and they needed a big rope. So the Mandara mountain became the churning, the main, and then a rod, what you call, and then snake, Vasuki, became the rope. And then two sides, one side is the demons, the other side is the demigods. So demons got the mouth side. So poison is coming out, fire is coming out from that. And the demigods, they got the tail side. Lord also appeared, that is Ajita. Ajita also appeared there. And then he took the side of demigods. In these past times, many incarnations of Lord appear. That is starting with Kurma avatar. So he took the form of Kurma. Then tortoise, we call. And then on the top, he also sat because we want to keep the stable, the top part stable. Otherwise, it will go here and there. And then also he personally came and then he started pulling the rope. He helped. And finally, what happened? In the beginning, what happened? Next chapter is Lord Shiva saves the universe by drinking poison. So the Kalakat or Halahal, when we want to get the nectar, first thing will come out is poison. Even in our spiritual life, when we practice, the first thing or the fourth item is what? So Ado Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, and the fourth item is Anartha Nivritti. So all anarthas, they are coming out. They are coming out. It will come on the surface, starting with no onion and no garlic. No onion and no garlic. And then no drinking tea. Because these are not required things. We are here to get the nectar, Charnamrit or Varuni, Lord Balaram's appearance day, right? So the poison comes out and then Lord Shiva, because he is so merciful, he wants to bring out the auspiciousness for all the living entities. He cares for them. So then he came and then he took all the poison in his throat and he became Nilakant, right? And then the next chapter is the actual churning of the ocean. So chapter 8 is the churning of the ocean. So various opulences came out starting with this poison. So we see the first poison came out, and then next we saw the beautiful Surabhi cow came out, because Surabhi cows provides all the facilities, all the opulences. And then horse incarnation, Uchishrava came. Then elephant, Airavat and other elephants as well as she elephants, they also came out, right? And then we saw that gem, Kastuba, money, it also comes out. And then Parijat tree, it's written Parijat flower, but Parijat tree comes out. And then Apsaras, it's written most beautiful women, of the universe. Because next is Lakshmi, but then she is not of this universe. She comes in the universe. So that is Apsaras. Then Lakshmi Devi, she was so beautiful. And we saw she does the Swayamvar. A woman is given choice to get married to suitable husband. So she comes out and she is looking for her husband. And who is her husband? Narayan. So then she chooses Ajita because he was present there. And no one else is as good as Lord. And that's what we hear, second aparadh. To consider names of the demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of names of Lord Vishnu. So no one is above and no one is equal to Lord, right? And then Varuni or Varuni, the goddess of drinking. And that's what, from a spiritual perspective, Lord Balaram enjoys that drink. But here, this Varuni goes to demons for whatever reason. And then finally what comes out? The nectar. And who brings the nectar? Lord himself in the incarnation or form of Dhanvantari. So he comes out with the nectar, Sudha. He comes out, and then as soon as he comes out, the demons, they were just so ready to take control. So they ran and they took from his hands, they snatched it. And then when he snatched it, what happened? Is the demigods, again they become so miserable in the sense, they thought, what happened? I mean, we did all the tapasya together and now the nectar has come out and they are running away. So then Krishna says, don't worry, I will do something beautiful. And what he did, we see chapter 9 is Lord incarnated, or he appeared in the form of Mohini Murti. Of course, for the demons, it's a Stree, a beautiful lady. She comes out, she walks nicely, her beautiful body is, of course, is described so nicely. And the demons, they became so bewildered just by looking at her and a smiling face, that they say, okay, whatever you do, it's all right. We just accept you. You give this nectar to both of us. Actually, they wanted themselves, but then they thought, no, if we don't show ourselves good, then she may run away from us. We want to show our good qualities to her. So then they said, no, bring the demigods as well. Then Mohini Murti said, okay, now I better advise you that you sit differently. One side demons, the other side is demigods, and then I will distribute. So she distributes the nectar. And this is where the chapter comes, that she distributed all the nectars to demigods. Because she thought, we saw the verse, that she thought, Lord thought in the form of Mohini Murti, that these demons, they don't need nectar, because they are already demons, and if we give, just like a snake, if we feed like a food or it says milk, then what will happen? It will increase the poisonous effect. It will produce more poison. We have enough poison in our heart and in our surrounding in this material world. So we don't want more poison, we want nectar. So she thought, no, I'm not going to feed them. And then the Rahu, there was one demon sitting in that, and then he saw, oh, something is going on. We are not getting nectar, we are getting a beautiful smile and beautiful words from her, but she is not actually delivering the nectar. So he was little intelligent. So what he did, he took the form of demigod. He changed his dress. And then he went and he sit down next to sun and moon. And then sun and moon realized that this is demon in the form of demigod. So then they pointed to Mohini Murti. Mohini Murti with Sudarshan disc, because that's Krishna, Vishnu, right? With Sudarshan disc, cut off the head of the demon, Rahu. And then that Rahu went away, the nectar is settled, and this is where the chapter 10 comes. The battle between the demigods and the demons. So, in the first verse is written that demons and daityas all engage in full attention and efforts in the churning of the ocean. But because the demons were not devotees of Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they were not able to drink the nectar. So this is interesting. The demons and the demigods, they both did same efforts. So demons, they also helped bringing the Mandara mountain. It was heavy. They also lost so many lives. The demigods also lifted the Mandara mountain. And finally, Lord appeared and helped them to set up the Mandara mountain. Then, actually demons, they were putting so much more efforts. They were suffering more because they were on the snake side and mouth. It's like a poisonous effect is coming from the snake's mouth. So they were putting so much more efforts than the demigods, and here is written full attention efforts, and that's what we see in even the material world. They are putting so much efforts, so much attention. If you see the big projects, they have to put so much brain power to create this. Sometimes I wonder how they can create all these facilities. And finally what happens? They don't get the nectar. They don't come here, unfortunately. They don't come here and enjoy the nectar, Charnamrit. Right? And their whole life goes in waste. Sometimes due to hurricane or earthquake, the building collapses and now they have to start again. Or sometimes they internally have a dispute and among themselves, they cut each other and they destroy everything. Right? So they put so much efforts and attention, but finally they don't get the nectar. Whereas the demigods, they get the nectar. And that means we have to be rest assured that just because we are here, if we stick to this process of devotional life, ultimately we will get the nectar. Throughout the whole life we are getting the nectar, and the final nectar is we will go back home, back to Godhead. That's the full eternity, knowledge and bliss, where we will enjoy peacefully with affection in the company of Krishna and his devotees. That's the ultimate nectar. Here, then, second verse it says, after the Supreme Personality of Godhead had brought to completion the affairs of churning the ocean and feeding the nectar to the demigods, who are his dear devotees, he left the presence of them all and was carried by Garud to his own abode. So, Krishna comes and he delivers or he saves his devotees. And then when the business is done, then he goes back to his own abode and then he continues his business. And what is his business? And that's what describes in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 9 or 8. Paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya duskritinam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. I think 4.7 or 4.8. Anyway. Yeah. So, this is the beauty of Krishna. That whenever we will require his attention, his presence, he will appear. Whether he appears in the form of his Vigraha form, or in the form of Kirtan, or in the form of his written words. When we are going through some miseries, we just open the book, that is Bhagavad Gita, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, or some lecture, and then we will hear, and then we will feel like, oh yes, Krishna is present, and we will get the nectar. And after some time, we continue, then we become little not sincere. Here it is written full attention and full efforts. And then we feel like, okay, maybe presence is lacking. Then again, we become more sincere, especially in the miseries. We become more sincere. Just like a demigods here, they were more sincere and more in a prayerful mood. So Krishna appears. And then he disappears. And then text 3 we see, seeing the victory of the demigods, the demons became intolerant of their superior opulence. Thus they began to march toward the demigods with raised weapons. So this is natural. When we have opulences, the other person, especially if we are talking about non-devotees, they will naturally become enmity. They will become envious. And they want to fight. If you walk on the street of this Melbourne, Swanston Street, chanting Hare Krishna, you will find so many people come through and they will say so many words which would really reflect, sometimes, not all of them, but sometimes you will see they are just so envious. They are just, sometimes they even punch devotees. What is wrong? That the devotees are simply chanting and dancing and then being happy and making everyone happy. What's wrong with that? You better participate together. You will become happy. But no, they don't want to be happy. They just want to display that enmity or enviousness in action. They want to just harass devotees for whatever reason. So here also the demons became intolerant of their superior opulence. What is that? They got the nectar as well as they got some other opulences. So many other opulences they got, Airavat and so many other opulences. And also finally they understood that yes, actually Lord Vishnu, because demons they already have enmity towards Lord Vishnu, they saw that Lord Vishnu personally helped them and saved them. So they became so much envious and they began to march towards the demigods with raised weapons. They were having anger, and that's what we see in Bhagavad Gita as well. Duryodhana was so envious to Pandavas that finally he declared war against Pandavas. And Pandavas now they have to fight. They have to fight. So here in the next verse it says, thereafter being enlivened because of drinking the nectar, the demigods who are always at the shelter of lotus feet of Narayan use their various weapons to counteract the demons in their fighting spirit. So the demons start the war, always. Whoever is demon, they will start the war. And devotees, they have to counteract, they have to protect themselves with the help of Lord. Just like Duryodhana, he declared the war, and Arjuna now, and Pandavas, they have to fight. They have to fight. Not that they want to fight, but they have to fight. And Krishna comes. That time he will take the side of devotees. So if we are sincere, if we are executing our devotional life, no matter what kind of demons come, we will be victorious. And this is what the next verse, it says, verse 6. Both parties in fighting were very extremely angry at heart. In enmity they beat one another with swords, arrows, varieties of other weapons. And that's what happens. When you are in war, you don't just sit and perform some other way of devotional service. Rather, you fight. So the demons come. Of course, in Kali Yuga, there is a different process. We may try to follow the mood of Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Nityanand, especially Lord Nityanand. Lord Nityanand, Jagai and Madhai, we see that he protected them, and rather he delivered them. So that's what we try to do. As a devotees, we try to go out and fight with these demons, bringing out the nectar for them, if they want to take. Otherwise, we may have to use the swords, arrows and varieties of other weapons. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada has mentioned that there are always two kinds of men in this universe. So for that, if we read Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 verse 3, Srila Prabhupada again writes the same sentence in there as well. He writes that two classes of men, demons and devotees. Because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said to Arjuna that I am telling you this science because you are my devotee. So the demons, they don't understand this science. They need some special mercy, prasadam mercy. So gradually they become inclined toward the spiritual life, and then they understand. And Krishna shows special favor. Here we see that the demons, they become angry at their heart. Like they should have realized that now the demigods, the Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is favoring them. Also they got the nectar. So now it's better we become peaceful with them. Just like demigods, they come to us with the truth, with peaceful attitude, we also become like that. Otherwise, they have just received the nectar, now they got the strength, they will beat us. They didn't understand. Rather, they just wanted to fight with the demigods. And that's the lesson we have to learn as well. Krishna will put us in some lessons that we understand. And better we don't fight with the situation, rather we take the shelter of Krishna. And then we just accept, and rather we move on towards Krishna. If we go on fighting with the situation, it may not be favorable with us. Rather we just develop the submissive attitude, and we take the shelter of Krishna. We pray, deeply we pray to Him, and then Krishna arranges some situation that you will have a peaceful time later on. Right? That's what we have to learn from this. And also, the victory, it was certain for the demigods. Here he says, on the first verse it was said that they were not able to drink the nectar. The demons, they were not able to drink the nectar. Why? Because Supreme Personality of Godhead was with demigods. So this is what happens. When Krishna is with us, then the victory or opulences or morality, that's what the last verse of Bhagavad Gita says, 1878. Right? Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystic, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will be certainly opulence, victory, extraordinary power and morality. This is my opinion. This is what Sanjaya said, right? So wherever Krishna is and wherever a sincere devotee like Arjuna is, there will be victory. And that we can see in life of Srila Prabhupada as well. Prabhupada brought this Krishna consciousness all over the world. Why? Because he was so sincere, dedicated, following the Guru Parampara. And also Krishna, he was with him. He blessed him. So the same thing will happen with us as well. That our little victory, whether it's a form of a victory over stopping this onion and garlic, yeah, sometimes so becomes difficult, or sometimes we have a habit of, if we are coming from a intoxication background or non-veg background, sometimes so difficult. But then if we understand this science, if we understand this Bhagavad Gita, then what happens gradually? We will clarify, or our consciousness will become so pure that it will become natural for us to take up. And we will win, or we will get the victory over this other sides, the demoniac nature. Because we have Bhagavad Gita chapter as well, chapter 16, isn't it? The divine and demoniac nature, right? So this is for us. So we have to just take the shelter of Krishna. And for that, Krishna is prepared to make us get up as well. That's what he said in Bhagavad Gita. What he said? 11:33. Therefore, get up, he is saying to Arjuna. Prepare to fight and win glory. Conquer your enemies and enjoy flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, Savyasachi, can be put an instrument in the fight. So here the main point is, of course there are many other points, but here in relation to this verse is that victory or winning over. So we just have to be ready to do something for Krishna. And if we stick with our here attention and full efforts, Krishna will shower His mercy upon us. And just to cover the second part of this purport, it is mentioned that Rahu, so that demon, then he took the form of a planet, and it's called Rahu. So what that enmity, because he realized that the sun and moon helped Krishna to identify that, oh, here is the demon. So he became so envious towards them. Now he covers them, and that is why we have solar eclipse and moon eclipse. Of course, the modern way is different. For the solar eclipse, it says moon comes in between, and for a moon eclipse, it says earth comes in between. But here our Vedic perspective is that solar and moon eclipses happen because of Rahu, because of his enmity, that he covers some portion. Just while we are discussing this one, just that Rahu point came, I did some study again of Canto 5, just for some summary of situation where they are all located. So of course, our Bhumandala is there, and Bhumandala is very big, 500 million yojana. Within that is divided into different parts, north, south, east, west, and then most southern part, that is 1,000 yojanas. So that is planet Earth. So this Bhumanda is like this, and then planet Earth is like a ball, is sitting like 1,000 yojana. 1,000 yojana, one yojana is 8 miles, that is equivalent to 12 kilometers, 12 point something, so nearly 13. So if we consider from that perspective also, modern science, they say the diameter of Earth is similar in kilometer. Thank you. Sorry. So, 1,000 yojanas, right? So within that 1,000 yojanas, that is Earth diameter, and then we have a moon diameter. So this 108, we chant 108 beats. It's like very relevant, because if you consider this 108 into the distance, etc., then we will get the distance very clearly. So how it is that Earth diameter is 1,000 yojanas, moon diameter is 270 yojanas. Moon is very small from that perspective. And then sun is 108 times the Earth diameter. That is, sun's diameter is 108,000 yojanas. Right? And that would be a moon. That would be moon. And the sun size is 400 times moon size. So if you consider 400 into 270 yojanas, then is the sun size. So the overall, the distance between sun and the earth is 108 into sun's diameter. Then it comes down as 11.66 million yojanas. And the distance between moon and earth is 108 into moon diameter. That is 29,160 yojanas. Right? And if we see the situation, so this is planet Earth, the Bhumandala, planet Earth is like this. So the sun is far away, about 100,000 yojanas, but the moon is above, is close to earth, but then is above the sun. So that is like a triangle, like that. It's described in the 5th canto. And this Rahu, if you read canto 5, chapter 24, it is described about Rahu, that this chapter describes the planet Rahu, which is 10,000 yojanas below the sun. It also describes Atala and other lower planetary systems. Rahu is situated below the sun and moon. It is between these two planets and the earth. When Rahu conceals the sun and moon, eclipses occur, either total or partial, depending on whether Rahu moves in a straight or curving way. But we don't have to worry about Rahu or any other demons, because we are here at the lotus feet of Radha Vallabha. With that, I stop here. If any question or comment or any correction.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, thank you for the nice class. Prabhu, we have heard in lectures, if we glorify or are attracted to any form of Krishna, even internally, we get the benefits. And we see in this pastime the demons, they were attracted to the form of Mohini Murti even more than the demigods. So they also didn't get any benefit. But we see in the case of Putana, even though her intent and mood was not good, she tried to kill Krishna. She's got the position of a nurse in Goloka. So how do we understand?
First of all, very nice question. Wow, you are comprehending so nicely. Very nice. Please continue. The question is that here we hear in that previous chapter that the demons got attracted to Mohini Murti, and they were also seeing her, beautiful Mohini Murti. Mohini Murti is incarnation, or Krishna himself, Vishnu himself. So they didn't get the benefit, whereas we see Putana got the benefit. When Putana came to feed poisonous milk to Krishna, then Krishna gave, of course, he sucked away her life hair, and then she went back home, back to Godhead as a nurse, Dhatri, right? Mother's situation. So how is it? So the consciousness is different. Why? Because if you read the chapter again, even though it's written Mohini Murti, of course, incarnation of God, the vision of demigods and the vision of demons was different. The consciousness, Chetana was different. The demons, they saw her as a Stree. It's written. They saw that beautiful Stree is walking. And of course, if you go in detail reading, there is the nice description of her body, a beautiful body, and how she was walking. The demons were seeing her as a Stree, as a woman, in the enjoying spirit. Where the demigods, they saw her as mother. And that's why here, when we come here in our Krishna consciousness, gradually we are trained to see other women as mother. That's why we call a mother, other woman as, of course, except our wife, we call as mother or Mataji. Mata, right? Because now we are moving away from that lustful or that consciousness of enjoying her, rather we are coming to that consciousness of respecting her as a mother. And then as mother feeds the baby nectar, milk, the same way Mohini Murti fed her demigods nectar, that is, she personally delivered, right? Because they were seeing her as a mother. But the demons, they saw her as a Stree. Oh, we want to enjoy. And then they ask question, from where you are coming? Who is your father? Why they are asking about father? Because then they can go and approach the father and then they get married to her. The demigods, we don't see demigod asking this question, that, who are you, from where you have come? No. They also got attracted in the sense, because beauty is naturally, you have to admire beauty. Yeah? But then admiration, thank you. Admiration comes in a different way, So that's one side. And now talking about Putana came, but then she had that other feeling of feeding Krishna, doing something for Krishna. You hearing, yeah? You hearing, yeah? Okay, so she had that feeling of feeding Krishna, not enjoying Krishna. Whereas the demons, they want to enjoy Mohini Murti, right? As a woman. But Putana wanted to feed Krishna, but of course, milk, but poisonous milk. So Krishna, he saw, just like here, sometimes we want to bring flour, but the flour is not so good. But that's the only flour we got. So what can we do? At least we offer. And then Krishna says, okay, he has brought the flour. Of course, it's not the best flour, but he has brought something, right? So Krishna, he took that view for her and gave, because mother, as a mother, she wanted to feed Krishna the milk. So then she got that position. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Any other question? Comment? No? Okay. Then it's 8:30. Thank you. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Assembled Bhaktavrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,